Hello, welcome. This will go back together, I promise. So, if you saw the last video, you'll know why we've got it all like this, all apart, ready to be cleaned. And that's all done now. You'll be pleased to know, as I am. So, instead of just a boring reassembly this week, which wouldn't actually be that helpful, what I'm going to do is put the swing arm and things back on and just tuck the wiring away for now. Put the side panels on so we can get a look of how it's going to look with the tyres and the wheels on. Maybe have a decision on where we're going. So let's put that in there and we'll worry about that next time. Oh yeah. So let's put the front wheel on first, because then I can get rid of this axle stand. There's those chunky tyres. Bridgestone Battle Axe AX41s. Check it out. Now if you remember, a couple of weeks ago I pulled the front brake lever while I was sat on it, which has pushed the pads together. So I just need to lever them apart. New pads are on the way, by the way. So here we go. And spaces first or spaces after? I think it's only a spacer on the one side on these. Okay. Okay, the whole back's a little low. I could probably lift it. Yeah, space has fallen out. Never mind. Ooh. Okay. So, spacer can only go in one way. As long as it stays in. Woohoo! Pop that up finger tight. How's it look? Well, hey, there we go. Let's first look at those tyres. Right, now we can get rid of that jack stand. If you remember, we took the under cradle off for better access for cleaning. So let's pop that back on. In the excitement to take it all apart, it's easy to forget where everything is. Right, so let's go front first. Only because that bolt's to hand. I'll just do this loosely for now, and I'll add put some grease on that later, because steel bolts just love to seize in alloy cases. Lovely. Ooh, that needs to be there. So, 2 bolts to put that back on. Here we go. It's so much nicer working on a clean bike. We'll just pop these on finger tight for now as well. Just to stop more flapping around. So the swing arm has got a whopping big bolt that holds it in. Nice greased bolt. It's got two little sub bolts on the end, because that's what's used to hold the little plastic trims on. You'll have to take them off to put this back in. So we've got some nice greased bearings in the swing arm. Basically, that works like a hinge. Right, so let's get this in the right way around. The swing arm, unlike most bikes, it doesn't actually fit to the frame. The swing arm is mounted to the engine and the frame, so it all joins together in one big sort of assembly, which makes the frame very rigid. Good. Where did I put that nut down? Lost it immediately. Where's the nut gone? Here it is. I've assembled that wrongly. I've done that wrongly. I think those dust caps are meant to be on the inside. Although now I'm not sure. No, I was right. There we go. Swing arm suspension. Well, I'm surprised there's play in that. I don't remember there being play in it before. That doesn't seem right. Why does that feel like that? I might have to go and have a look at video. So the bolt does have a bit of play in the frame. It has a bit of play in the bearings. Oh, so maybe that's right then. I was expecting that to be a little more tight. To be honest. I don't think there's anything I've missed out. Okay. Let's pop it back in for now. I'll double check on the Google. That is puzzling. I thought that would be a tighter fit than that. Checking the parts diagram later. I'm sure there's nothing I've missed out. I mean, it's quite simple. The bolt goes through. There's dust caps. Stop water getting in the bearing. You see all that play? Front to back is not play as such. Usually that would be very undesirable on a motorbike, because when you corner, you'd be flipping from sort of one position to the other. That doesn't make for a very good handling motorbike usually. I'm a bit concerned about that. Okay, well let's pop the shocks on, see how it feels. shocks, swing arm, okay, one more. We've still got the movement in the swing arm. I'm going to tighten the swing arm bolt a bit, just to see if that changes that at all. That's tightened up. Okay, so there's no play in it. I'm just wondering now whether I've cinched it up and that's somehow not working properly. But I'm sure it is because of the bearings. There's a thing called a crush tube, so it can only be a certain length. It can't be crushed so much that it's tight. So I'm sure. Let's loosen these shocks. Again. Check that that's free to move. Oh. Yeah. So the bearings are free to move. So that lateral play is gone. Good. Because that would have handled like a banana on roller skates. Or roller skates on a banana, I don't know. I think when people have an old bike and they complain that the handling is terrible, it's because the swing arm bearings are gone. And the whole thing is moving around. So as you corner, as you tip into the corner, the first thing that happens is clunk, that swing arm moves. The play goes and you feel that sort of, that horrible wallowy movement. And they're a horrible thing to change because obviously this is a young bike, but that all seizes up really bad on an old bike. It's quite a boring bit of maintenance, but it's quite important to how your bike handles. Okay, happy. Cool. Rear wheel. Right, caliper. I think we'll have to thread that through there. Set. How much of this comes off again, I'm not sure, but we'll clip this in anyway for now. Can't remember if this goes inside or outside that shock. I'll have to have a look online. Outside looks plausible. We'll have a look at a picture though. Yeah, it must be, because there's not enough room for those pipes behind the shock to get the wheel. Whoa! There we go. Look at that. Alright, let's just spread those pads again, because I touched the rear brake as well, if you remember. So you can see that piston's come all the way out because I put my foot on the rear brake when I was playing around. And if you look, as I push the brakes back out, you can see the brake reservoir filling back up with fluid. So obviously it's pushing it back through the whole system and up into the reservoir. There we are. New pads will be here this week, so we'll change those then, because these are completely flat. Quite dirty in there too. I'll show you that when we change them. So, roundy, roundy. Right. So what order is this going to happen in? Wheel. Washer. 2 spacers. You need the sprocket carrier. So we've still got the old sprocket at the moment, but in the week from Hitchcock's is, or wherever, I can't remember now, the new chain and sprocket kit is coming. So this is definitely coming back out again. So we just got to pop that back in. The sprocket doesn't actually mount to the wheel. It's got these teeth that fit between these rubber cushions. That's called a cush drive. So as you put the power on and brake, instead of shuddering through the drive line, these rubber blocks cushion that for you. But nearly all bikes have that. So you've got to push that into those rubber teeth, especially with a single cylinder engine. They take up a lot of the impulses from the piston. Right, spacer. It's either be easy or it won't. Spacer. Okay. Okay. So, should I put the chain adjusters in at the moment? No, it's an unnecessary complication. I don't need to see that. I just want to see the wheel. It's got to come back out anyway for the sprocket. Come on. It's not moving, I don't know why. It's stuck fast. Good. Okay. Oh, nearly there. It's basically this whole brake caliper bracket slides on a tooth the other side. So as you adjust the chain, the whole caliper can move with the wheel. And usually we have chain adjusters here, like we saw, but I don't need to see that at the moment. Vroom vroom. Okay, let's step it back. Whoa, look at that chunky boy. Wow, that's my first look at it as well, same as you. Let's lower this camera down a little. Now the GoPro is warping that slightly, so let's just move that back. What do you think? That back wheel's crazy. Perhaps I've just got used to it with no back wheel. So they're basically the original tyre sizes, just in these back lacks. AX41 Adventures tyres. So the tyre spec's the same. Though I think it might be 114/90 on the back instead of 140/80. No, 140/80. 16 obviously. I think. Perhaps it's the front one. And these 190/19s, which I think might be a tiny bit taller aspect ratio. But basically the same. Back wheel looks enormous. Looks like I nicked it off a tractor or something. That is wild. Right, I'm going to pop the seat and the tank on. Okay, before I pop this on, an interesting thing arrived in the mail. Just remember we cut the seat down. There's an episode about that. And they ordered one of these replacement covers. But what they actually are is they're meant for your unmodified seat to just buy and add on top. They're a genuine Royal Enfield part. So it's another seat cover with a sort of drawstring going on, so you can pop it over your seat. Obviously this isn't fitting perfectly because we cut this down. That's okay because I can play around with that. I've literally just put this on, pulled the drawstring and put it on. But it's nice, I like the brown. It's kind of a dark brown. And it's also, it's got it comes with a layer of foam inside it. So it's probably made it as thick as before we cut it off. But it hasn't, it's still, so it's not the final fitting of it, but I thought it looks quite nice anyway. So tank first though. Put those breathers down there because they're hard work. Just got to manoeuvre it around these brake pipes. Because obviously both master cylinders from the brakes have to go to the ABS pump first before they go to the wheels. Okay, thank you. Right. Don't need to see those wires for a bit. Seat. I haven't tried any of this yet. Locked in. Right, what have we got? Oh hey, that's a chunky little thing, isn't it? That is chunky. Okay, I'm going to move this camera slightly so we can look end on. And we're going to have to think about some of this. Right, hang on. Okay, here we are down with the level again. That looks crazy. Why does it look so tall? It looks really tall. I mean, it's just on the centre stand. It should look pretty much the same as normal. Perhaps it's just because I've had it to bits. Yeah, that's very unusual. Oh, it's weird as well, without the gubbins in. I can see straight through. We'll put the side panel on in a sec. Well, I can't really put it on because there's no fittings there. But we'll fake it. I'll have a bit of a play with the mudguard. Right, what's next? Right, side panel. Obviously I've got none of the fittings to attach this to, so we're just going to try and get it to float there. Of course it doesn't want to. I've got some tape. A bit on the back as well. Yeah, I don't think that's stuck. Right, how does that look? Yeah, looks a bit more like a bike again. Looks really strange seeing it together after seeing it in bits. That is a shock to see it so different. I'll play with my mudguard again. So obviously this is all open now. Now, I know that's nothing like what I want, but I thought I'd just come back for a look quick. Right, let's go back to my original plan. Obviously, if you haven't seen previous videos, I got no intention of doing all of what I'm doing here. I'm just putting the original one. It's the original Meteor mudguard. I've just been pushing it down the back to have a play with different looks. Hey, that's so unusual. I was looking at it in bits. It's so weird to see it with bodywork on again. Right, let's try a couple of variations. That's right down on the swing arm now, so I can't really push it any further. I can bend it upwards. Oh, okay, so pushed up higher, you can see more of the wheel. I don't know if that's a bit too high. I know you're all screaming, the whole thing's too high anyway, but I'm just having a look. Right, let's try lower, lower. No, I'm not keen on that. I liked it when I could see the wheel. I mean, obviously I can see the wheel, but I don't see the wheel. So obviously we have to take into account how much movement we've got here for the swing arm to come up and down. It's only, I think, about 2.5 inches, that's all there is there. Maybe 3 on a Meteor I read somewhere. So as long as this is at least 3, it looks like about 5 to be honest. So that's enough. Yeah, you know what? I quite like it. Where's my pointing stick? Quite like it. I quite like that radius kind of follows the whole tyre radius, and likewise the under as well, and also that line there kind of traces down to here. Now, I'm not promising this is the final way we're going to do it. Obviously I want to do this because it's the original mudguard from the bike, so there's a kind of, you know, it's a kind of feeling that it's still all part of the same bike rather than just inventing something new. So obviously the bike is so modular, we could do this and then we could build a whole nother, if it doesn't look good, or just, if you want to laugh, we could make a whole nother one, couldn't we? You could be like Thunderbirds. You could have a whole series of different looks that you add on the back of the bike and the front. It takes quite a bit of getting used to. I like how all the tyre is open. It's sort of mirrored at the front. There is going to be some sort of front fender. Or mudguard. I forget which country I'm in sometimes. I have ordered one of those little spring kits to fill that void. To sort of just put something in there. So we'll have a look at that as well when it comes, which should come this week. Yeah, I really want to commit to that. Especially, you know, it's free. I've got the mudguard. It's not wasting money. If you ever saw the first part of this series, you'll know that this bike was a stolen, recovered write-off. But for the full story, it's worth going back and having a look at all that, if you haven't. Yeah, I have a little play with some more. That's kind of placed where I want it. So I'm kind of limited here in what I can do, because on top of the mudguard, obviously, the original mudguard is flat on top, and it's got this bracket going on. But that, I can grind that off. We're going to remove this. And the flat part then, which I don't think you were probably noticing, was kind of hidden behind the seat. So as long as I can get that weld line just past the seat, this part will be exposed. And then obviously we've got the light mounting, and I think we will just cover that. We can remove that and then fill it over, and then we'll repaint this. There it is. Let's pop that back on. Yes. Just for a laugh, and I put the rear light on. Not the rear light that's going on it, but the original. See if it looks stupid stuck up in the air. Right, so there's the original Meteor light, but oh yeah, no, that's terrible. I was wondering if pointing up in the air, just at a low bike, might be good, but it's terrible. What a disaster. That's horrendous. So obviously when the mudguard is in its original position, that would point backwards. Oh, what? Oh, it's terrible. Let's take it off immediately. No way is that going on like that. Do the Harley thing, and I've indicated no, I don't like that. These indicators can go down there. That's not that bad, I suppose. Not that bad. I suppose I could get some small ones. Though I don't mind quite big indicators. But, okay, we can think about that. There's lots of places to fit them anyway. Okay. Fit some sort of light at the back here. I'm trying to get away from the side mount number plate thing because it's just going to catch my leg and I don't think it looks all that good. And I would end up catching my leg all the time, for sure. That's a small dirt bike style light and number plate just off the back. And that would in fact make the number plate long, the mudguard longer as well. Very interesting. Well, that was quite a busy day, and I've just been editing the video, and I'm only halfway through, and it's nearly an hour long, so I think we'll stop there for this week, and I'll show you what we did with the front next week. And I know the back's not finished, but it was a good progress today. It's great to get the wheels on and everything. So anyway, this is where I live. This is a valley just off the Rhondda Valley in the UK, and this is what it looked like 50 years ago, and we are stood just here. We're stood just here, and this is what it looks like today. I love to come over here for a walk, especially after a hard day at work. Although being the Rhondda, it's usually raining, so it's not always like this. And there's one of the old pit head wheels, and the steel ropes would have run over that to the mines 1,000 feet. Right down there. There they are. There's the wheels on top of all the pit heads, and there were 4 collieries, as they'd be called. And the trains would have run about 30 miles down to the docks in Cardiff and Barry. I think these went to Barry. These are called the pit head baths. This is where all the miners would have a shower because they'd be filthy after they come up from work. But that building is would be there. But it's all gone. All cleared away in the 90s. So nature has perfectly taken all this back. And this is also a memorial to the, is it 31 miners who died in the explosion in 1965. It's a very dangerous business. And the mines, I think they closed quite soon after that. As you can see, there's still plenty of family still remaining. So despite the greening of the valleys, there's still a lot of pain and suffering still remains, really. So I hope you can hear the birds. Quite a change from that. Like I said, we're stood just about here. So all this is gone. This entire area, all of South would be like this. It was kind of like well, it's like Mordor from the Lord of the Rings. It would have just been hell and smoke all the time. But that's all gone. So that there is a mine cage. So the steel wire rope would have lowered that all the way deep underground, and that's how you'd get to work. This one's meant for the trams, or drams as they're actually called in Wales, that we just saw the other side for bringing up the coal. But that's how you'd be lowered into the ground in the morning or at night, or any time, because obviously there's no time underground, it's always dark. And that one there, as you can see from the sign, is from the same colliery that an Iron Bevan worked in, the founder of the National Health Service. So it's no wonder that you'd found the National Health Service if that's how you went to work when you were 12 years old. So I hope you've enjoyed that this week. It's really unusual seeing a bike together like that. So I'm taking some photos and then go home and have a think about a few things. And we're going to play with the front mudguard as well. But I'll show you that in the next video, because you must have either fallen asleep or switched off by now. YouTube must have shut down. But we'll look at that next week. And we'll try out some more things. And hopefully we'll get cutting and bolting some more soon. But thanks very much for joining me. I probably wouldn't even get on with it if you weren't watching. You'll probably just sort of get neglected in the corner. But I want to get it going, and I'm sure we're going to do that. So thanks very much. Please like and subscribe if you can. That'd be amazing. And but it's a pleasure to have you with me watching. So we'll see you next time, and enjoy where you live.